Welcome back, everyone. We have a very special episode today. We have a guest with us today. We have Soul joining us today because we have wanted to have more guests on the show, and we have a very special one today because we're going to talk about some pretty interesting issues going on from this point in the game. Because as anyone knows who's played this game before, right after this segment, all the swimming stuff with EE, this game gets real interesting. So, Soul, if you want to say hi.
Hi.
Hello. And we're having her on because there's going to be a lot of issues that we just want to pick her brain. And it's someone that we trust her opinion, and we love having her on the show. So just to say hello quick, we do this with guests. What's your first memory, like your first experience with Metal Gear?
Oh, ball sack.
It was nice. A ball sack.
Nice, Dora. Yeah, apparently so. Actually, about last year, Joshua started to talk to me about Metal Gear Solid, and we had discussions about it, and I actively watch him game. And so that was about my first experience with this game series, is just watching Joshua play, and then I just started to give him feedback and kind of talk to him about like what I thought about the game. So, and
it was Metal Gear Solid 1. Did you start fresh, or did you start from this game?
Joshua, you want to interject? Because I actually can't remember.
I think we played MGS 1, and yeah, we played MGS 1, 2, and 3. We made it, we didn't finish 3, but we made it most of the way through. Yeah,
because he wanted me to go in numerical sequence.
Like a true fan.
Yep.
Well, so if it makes you feel any better, I wasn't... oh my God. We'll come back to that in a second because she does that. To make you feel better, I wasn't like a tried and true hardcore fan of Metal Gear. Dora introduced me to it
cool.
a couple of years ago. So we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Where Dora was just like, hey, you got to play this game. And I've been playing games since I was a kid, but for some reason never really got into Metal Gear until I was an adult. So I can totally see where you're coming from. And I mean, obviously you were impressed by it because you kept with it and you thought a lot of it that you wanted to give Josh, like you actually started engaging him and talking about it and having discussions about it. What was your first impression of it?
I really liked the gameplay, and I thought that my first impression was, I don't know, it was very complex. And I think that's why I started to talk to him, is that I saw a lot of not just the general game and the quest, but also the psychological element to everything and kind of the undertone of what was going on.
I should just interject for the people watching. That's a little bit of your specialty, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I have my degree in psychology, and I like to focus on those kind of elements in everyday life.
See, there's a reason we have you on here. Other than that, you're just a great person.
Oh, you knocked her down.
Thanks. I'm not like Dora and knock people down on their feet.
This is great here too, because I mean, like in this last episode before this one, we were complaining about escort missions and how they're the worst in any game. But I mean, like, what a weird escort mission! You have to clear the room of cockroaches before she can get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, EE's not necessarily the most positive character in this game. She's kind of pathetic.
She's a sad sack like her brother.
Yeah, but at the same time, Hal and EE are very smart.
Yep.
They're geniuses, and you would not be able to complete this game without her. And because we're kind of touching on it a little bit, I'm going to give the disclaimer right now. So I am prepared for a backlash for this because it's not a very popular subject, but it's something that all of us here on the show are very interested in. And because we're doing a very serious analysis of the show, we feel like, it's something that we want to do and we should do. We're actually going to start talking about how women are portrayed in this series, a lot about sexualization and just how women are used as, tropes or stereotypes or even as characters. And this is possibly going to give us some backlash. We don't really care. And I would say right now, we all have opinions on this, but I would say for me personally, I think we all have different versions and levels of this. I am personally still making up my mind on how I feel about Kojima's depiction of women because it's very complicated and it's still something that's going on. And so when we talk about these things, a lot of time, for myself personally, I'm going to be playing devil's advocate and trying to see it from a different point of view because a lot of the things that we're going to talk about are very negative. But that's because it's the way that this game comes across. It's a very complicated game. So just to warn you out there, that's a topic that's going to come up from this point on. But that's another reason why we have Soul on here, is because, it's not just someone like... all three of us, Dora, Josh, and I mean, we're very big fans of this game, but I mean, someone who has a degree in psychology, I think we can respect their opinion.
Yeah, I think we're all grown-ups here. You guys are grown-ups too, right? Comments? Yeah.
I mean, I try once in a while.
So, I mean, right off the bat, just because it's something that we're looking at right now in front of us, how do you feel about leading this little girl around who's cowering in the corner?
She's a fucking pain in the ass.
But it's complicated, too, because Dora's talking from a player's perspective, that you're playing as this, supposedly badass secret agent or, special agent, and you've been firing rockets at helicopters or Harriers and shooting millions of guards, and now you have to lead this little girl around by the hand. And
do they see me?
But you also have to come at from the point of view of what would a regular computer programmer be doing in this situation with a bunch of guards shooting at her.
Check him out. Oh, there he goes.
That's the old classic action roll.
There he goes.
He just keeps jumping out.
Do it again.
Watch this.
Now he stops. Could you actually notice the fact that like he does that big jump roll and then just slowly sidewalks out?
Yeah, his little sidling out.
Why didn't we jump roll back out of the wall?
It's like a crab walk.
That's all he had. He had just that one jump.
That's all he had in him. Yeah.
But so, I mean, how do you feel? I mean, because it's probably been a while since you went through the whole experience of Metal Gear, but just as up to this point, we haven't really gotten into a lot of the Rose stuff yet. But I mean, your impression of the game, of what we would have played so far, with if you're at Fortune with the big laser that cannot be hit with bullets. Railgun, sorry. It looks like a giant laser. I'm actually ashamed of myself for getting that wrong. But it's a giant railgun. And
she's going to kill him. Oh, no, she shot him.
Yeah, she's not going on her bloodthirsty rampage in this episode.
She only kills when she needs to.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Which is all the time.
I got a little bit of blood spilled. That's fine. That's enough for me.
So yeah, you were talking about like what we've done up to this point. So yeah, we break into Big Shell, and then we went through the Fortune fight, which was interesting. And then we had the Fat Man fight as well.
I remember that.
Where you fight him on top of the helipad. Then we did a Vamp fight before we got to EE and his penis knife.
I vaguely remember
my favorite part of Vamp is that he has a penis knife.
That's the only thing that you remember. Of all the things that he does.
Of all the places he could have put a knife, it's right in his crotch.
Yeah.
It just seems so
unsafe.
Like,
and he constantly licks that knife.
Well, I mean, he is the undead, so
he's got a healing factor.
Oh,
I'm sure he may not even have a penis at this point. Who knows? Lots of stuff have happened.
There's a lot of questions that are still left to be answered about Vamp, at the least.
It wouldn't kill him anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe he's into that.
Or EE.
And her legs are frozen.
Don't
I
mean these guys.
fully
They're just
understand
sleeping.
that.
She's frozen with fear, essentially.
Her weak legs. She explained it somehow, but do you remember what it was?
I thought they said that there was something with, like, there was some sort of gas or something that was making her not use her legs. But I think it was supposed to be a smokescreen for the fact that she's terrified.
Headshot.
Come on, EE.
So,
I mean, just fireman carry her like Ground Zeroes. Carry her right out of here like 5 seconds.
I would love that. I would love that if you can just carry her. That way, we can actually move at a decent pace.
Man, if we're talking about like portrayals of women, though, I mean,
Yeah,
I just want to sling her over my shoulder so we can get shit done. But we're just talking pragmatically here.
Any escort mission. Yeah.
It's always
so I
there
put
to
you
slow
on my
down.
shoulders and I'll just carry you.
I feel like a lot of the escort missions in general and a lot of different games are there to slow you down purposefully. It's just adding the element of the weak female into the mix, that variable, isn't always necessary.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
I mean, adding the bugs, essentially. It's just like, would you do that if it was a male character you were escorting? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, would he say, ooh, bugs?
Yeah, because...
and couldn't move through them.
You see bugs, like, at the beginning, and you haven't seen them since, so why the fuck would they even be there? It's just stupid.
They were coming after your rations.
If you remember, though, Hal was a kind of a whiny baby at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Hal's just whiny in general.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be his sister, so...
Right. I mean, it's like running in the family.
Yeah, that's. I think. Could you
Just
again?
like shit pants.
Again, the devil's advocate. Do you think that's what they were going for? Is it supposed to be that she's like this really
I could see
pathetic
that.
woman, or is it that's supposed to it runs in the family?
You could definitely see that. I also think that there's a potential of using the stereotype of the nerdy people or the smart people
Right.
aren't able to deal with social toughness.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
I
would
mean, Huey's the same way as their dad. Same way. He's whiny and weak.
right.
And disabled, but
And
we'll
made
get
more complex by the fact that he's in a wheelchair.
disabled.
yeah, we'll get into that when we get to Peace Walker. But it is kind of strange that there are very few female characters in this game, and one of the ones that you spend a lot of time with is someone who pisses their pants, is paralyzed with fear, and has to be led around by the hand.
Yeah, specifically. I mean, that just alone, that I noticed that right off the bat is like he has to hold her hand to move her anywhere.
Yeah.
And then the last episode,
Yeah.
you weren't here for it, but in the last episode, you have to swim with her on her back, and she's so paralyzed that she can't even keep her eyes open, and he tells her that he has to listen to her, or she has to listen to his heartbeat to be able to get through it.
Through his chest, but she does it through the back, so she's bad at following instructions.
I like that he puts his hand on his hip as soon as he's frustrated. He's like, ugh.
He's so sassy.
He just gets very
He's
sassy.
very annoyed too, obviously. Like, why are we still doing this?
Why am I so pretty?
And he's annoyed with her. He should have told me you had it.
He's gonna give her the Zoolander. Do you ever think there's more to life than just being really, really ridiculously good looking?
Also, they were strangely flirty in the last episode,
Yeah,
too.
they were. Yeah.
There was like a weird sort of sexual tension
We
there.
forgot to look up. Is she actually, I feel like she's like 12 years old.
Oh, we have to look that up. I don't remember. We're going to have to look up how old she is.
Well, she's flirting with him, and he's kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah, because he's supposed to be monogamous with Rose, and technically she's supposed to be all hung up. Well, we're going to get into who she's hung up on in a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of weird that there's supposed to be like a little romantic tension right before this.
Where does that? I guess I can see where you could interpret that. Maybe I'm forgetting it how obvious it was between who you're talking about and her.
It's pretty explicit.
Yeah.
It gets pretty explicit, and we're going to see that in a little bit.
Yeah, I think I don't think they actually say it, but I think it's heavily implied. Like, there's
Dora.
no getting around it.
Is the name on your dog tags NyQuil?
Is it what?
NyQuil? Because all these motherfuckers are asleep. Every single person you've gotten.
Took me a bit. I was like,
That was the slow burn. That was the slow burn right there.
That joke went into a slow sleep.
Everybody in the building's asleep.
Josh, is your name NyQuil? Because that joke put us to sleep.
Zing!
And yet we all laughed.
I like that they snore though.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
it's a
what's
comfortable
doing it for
sleep.
you?
They're really, really comfortable.
Yeah, they're really very comfortable.
I'm just trying to give them some kind of relief from their stressful job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Give them a break.
Take a break, man.
You're welcome, guys.
You guys
Like
work
a
too hard.
therapist there.
Rest those puppies.
Get those dogs.
Dogs
up.
are killing me.
Dogs barking.
There's another butt shot.
Yeah, I don't know why she's also wearing spandex shorts. That seems pretty strange, but
That's what kids wear. You know?
kids don't wear
She's
spandex
wearing,
shorts.
she's wearing like biking shorts.
Yeah.
And she's a computer
What is that, a
programmer.
wetsuit top?
She's a computer programmer. Why would she be wearing?
Maybe she bikes on her pastime.
They're on an oil rig.
Oh, do you think she
Maybe
has like
she
a
bikes
biking
through
desk?
the water.
She has a water bike.
Maybe she needs to pedal to make her computer work.
There you go.
I'm
She's
pretty sure it's
she's
that
very
one.
eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Who's calling me?
Wait.
Who
wait.
dat? What?
You could have just asked me.
Aren't they right next to each other?
Yeah, no one ever says anything directly in this series.
Not at all.
Look how pretty that sunset is.
Oh, look at her. She goes down one step at a time. God,
Safety first.
Jesus Christ.
3 points of contact, Dora.
Oh, Lord.
He's going to grab her and jerk her off the ladder.
Hurry up!
Just
Yanks her down.
Just grab her like a cat by the scruff of her neck and carry her down.
Look at that sunset. Wow.
So do you think that she's supposed to be realistic though? Like a real person in this situation? How they would respond to these things?
I feel like, yeah, if I had to, well, she is like a kid. I feel like if you were dealing with a kid in this situation, yeah, it'd be the situation like, come the fuck on. You want me to hold your hand?
Well, it is like babysitting.
Yeah, it is really that.
Look at that beautiful sunset.
Those
Looks
PS2
like a
graphics.
mushroom cloud.
It looks very, I'm sure it's supposed to, but it's not actually really that beautiful. I think it's more like hazy and like...
Oh, it's supposed to look like...
It looks like
smog. Pollution.
Polluted sunset. It's kind of gross. Oh, dear Lord.
Ciphers.
Gonna ask me how old I am next?
If you go alone, I think
Oh,
we can make
god damn it. Ask her, how old is she? We want to know.
We want to know!
That was the moment.
Yeah.
I swear she's 13. She looks 13. She's got like little curly
For some reason,
cues in
I
her hair.
tried looking it up, and it's not readily apparent how old she is. I'm gonna have to dive a little bit deeper. I know
Really?
one of our fans is gonna be screaming at us.
Yeah,
probably
sorry,
all of
fan.
them. But I'm kind of doing this on the fly.
Yeah, I was trying to
Pontoon
look it
looks
up
funny.
too, but
It's a silly word.
The oil fence.
Am I? I don't know.
It's time to play
I think
sniper.
I am.
What is this thing?
It's kind of weird when Snake tells you it's time to play as something. Hits a little close to home, doesn't it?
Yeah.
maybe
It's a little bit too meta.
the little
Yeah.
hint of a reminder that it's just a game.
I think this game is less about subtle hints about that and more of like punching
Hitting
you in
over
the
the head.
face with it.
Hitting you over the head with it.
And somehow still it took 10 years for people to realize,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
It didn't hit me either. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know.
When I played it, I had no idea.
I mean, because you're kind of used to games talking to you like you're playing it.
Right. And,
Honestly.
And being kind of illogical in how they're put together because not many games made sense back then. It was
Yeah.
all about mechanics, and it's just like, yeah, this is a thing that happened in the game. It's just, it's a game. Why wouldn't it happen?
Right. And how many games have tutorials where a character is telling you how to play the game? I mean,
Right.
that itself is very...
It's like a standard
Yeah.
at that time, especially.
I should also point out that she, even though she works on an oil derrick, she can't swim, and she has a crippling fear of water. She works on
Terrible
a
place to
fucking
work.
oil rig. Yeah.
All right.
Now, there's two arguments you can make that it is supposed to be a hindrance. It's supposed to frustrate you as a player, that it's the worst possible person to be babysitting in this situation, which it is. And then we know that a big inspiration behind this game is frustration and kind of thwarting your expectations. But also, there is another level to it that she's not afraid of water because she's just kind of like a brat or a baby. She actually has a severe psychological trauma. Did you shoot the parrot?
Wait,
Okay, mission accomplished.
Parrots out at
That was
sea.
definitely a seagull.
It looked like a parrot for a second. I thought you killed the parrot.
Killed her buddy, her favorite parrot.
And the parrot was coming out to say hi to her, to help her.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, that was
The bomb on the little
that
thing.
was quick.
nice.
There were bombs?
Yeah,
I
you gotta shoot
forgot
the
about
bombs
the bombs.
Fish and mail.
She'll be fine. She can swim, right?
Are you guys hungry for a trash burrito?
We're going to see what's going to happen in the next episode. And so, are you going to be joining us in the next episode?
I can definitely do that. I think it would be great.
All right, because we're just touching the tip of the iceberg.
Because you're not invited.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was just
that's okay.
knowing we're not actually going to have you back. I was curious.
That's fine. The great thing about all of that is that I know where you live, so
Shit.
I could easily just always be here.
God damn it.
She's moving in.
Time to move. And we're moving on to our next episode. That one's for you, Josh.
terrible.
That one's
Oh,
you for
God.
Josh. All right. See you next time, guys.